Did you know that 90% of people say they struggle to stay emotionally balanced during tough times? Imagine if there was a way to not to survive these challenges, but to thrive through them. Today, we're diving into a powerful tool that has stood the test of time, Stoicism. This ancient philosophy might just hold the key to unlocking your inner strength, especially when it comes to navigating the stormy seas of relationships. Stoicism is more than just a philosophy. It's a way of life that has guided warriors, emperors, and everyday people through the harshest of trials. Born over 2,000 years ago, Stoicism was practiced by some of the greatest minds in history, including Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Their teachings have endured because they offer practical advice on how to face adversity with grace and strength. In our modern world, where uncertainty and stress seem to lurk around every corner, Stoicism remains as relevant as ever. Today, we'll explore how Stoicism can help you find emotional balance in your relationships, allowing you to maintain inner peace even when the world around you feels chaotic. Relationships are a core part of our lives. They can bring us immense joy, but they can also be a source of deep pain. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a connection with family, we all face challenges. Maybe you've experienced the sting of betrayal, the grief of loss, or the frustration of a heated argument. Perhaps you're dealing with the stress of uncertain times, where the future of your relationship feels shaky, and you're not sure how to navigate the emotional roller coaster. These situations can leave us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and out of control. It's in these moments that we need something solid to hold onto, a guiding principle that can help us keep our balance when everything else seems to be falling apart. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. This idea is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believe that our happiness and peace of mind depend not on external circumstances, but on our inner state. They encouraged focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our attitudes, and letting go of what is not other people's actions, the weather, or the outcome of events. This mindset can be incredibly liberating, especially in relationships where so much is out of our hands. For example, imagine you're in a relationship where your partner has done something that hurts you. Your initial reaction might be anger or sadness, and that's completely natural. But Stoicism teaches us to pause and examine these emotions. Ask yourself, is this something I can control? You can't control what your partner did, but you can control how you choose to respond. You can choose to react with calmness, to communicate your feelings without escalating the situation, or to take a step back and reflect before engaging. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about acknowledging your feelings and then deciding the best course of action that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Another key Stoic principle is the idea of accepting what you cannot change. Life is full of uncertainties, and relationships are no exception. You might be worried about the future, wondering if your relationship will stand the test of time, or if a current conflict will ever be resolved. The Stoics would advise you to accept these uncertainties as part of life. Instead of resisting or fearing the unknown, embrace it. Understand that you cannot predict or control every outcome, but you can make peace with that fact. This acceptance doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it means focusing your energy on what you can do in the present moment and trusting that you've done your best. Let me share with you a story that beautifully illustrates the power of Stoicism in relationships. Picture a man named Alex. Alex was deeply in love with his partner, Sarah. They had been together for years, and their relationship had always been strong. But one day, things started to change. Sarah became distant, less communicative, and Alex began to worry. He tried everything to bring them closer again, but nothing seemed to work. The more he tried to control the situation, the more it seemed to slip through his fingers. Alex was consumed by anxiety, fearing that he was losing the love of his life. In his desperation, Alex stumbled upon the teachings of Stoicism. He learned about the importance of focusing on what he could control and accepting what he could not. He realized that he had been trying to control Sarah's feelings and actions, something that was never within his power. Instead, he began to focus on his own reactions. He stopped obsessing over what Sarah might be thinking or doing and started to work on himself. He practiced patience, understanding, and most importantly, he gave Sarah the space she needed without pushing his own fears onto her. Over time, Alex noticed a significant change in his own mindset. He was calmer, more centered, and less reactive. He found that by focusing on what was within his control, he was able to approach his relationship with a new sense of clarity and purpose, instead of being consumed by fear and anxiety. Alex began to appreciate the moments they shared and worked on being the best partner he could be, regardless of the outcome. His newfound peace of mind even had a positive effect on Sarah. She noticed the change in Alex, how he was less stressed and more present, and it opened up new avenues of communication between them. Over time, their relationship slowly began to heal. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but by practicing Stoic principles, Alex was able to navigate the rough waters of uncertainty with grace. He learned that while he couldn't control every aspect of his relationship, he could control his own actions and reactions, which in turn created a more positive environment for both him and Sarah. Alex's story is a powerful example of how Stoicism can transform not just our inner world, but also our relationships, by focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. We can find a sense of peace even in the midst of chaos. The key takeaway from Alex's story from Stoicism in general is that our power lies in our responses. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This is especially important in relationships, where emotions can run high and situations can quickly spiral out of control. By practicing Stoic principles, like focusing on what's within our control and accepting the rest, we can maintain our emotional balance and approach our relationships with a sense of calm and resilience. As we wrap up, let's recap some of the key Stoic strategies that can help you keep emotional balance in your relationships. First, remember to focus on what you can control: your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This will help you stay grounded even when things around you feel uncertain. Second, practice acceptance of what you cannot change. Life is full of unpredictability, and relationships are no exception. By accepting this fact, you can free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Finally, cultivate patience and understanding, both with yourself and others. Relationships are a journey, and they require time, effort, and compassion to flourish. These Stoic strategies aren't just abstract ideas, they're practical tools that you can start using today to improve your emotional balance and strengthen your relationships. Whether you're dealing with a difficult situation right now or simply want to be better prepared for the future, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that can guide you through even the most challenging times. I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on how you can apply these Stoic principles in your own life. Have you ever faced a situation where you felt out of control? And how did you respond? How might focusing on what you can control and accepting what you cannot change help you in your current relationships? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.